Good morning, Angela Yee.
Hey, DJ MB.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday.
Already?
Yes, it's Tuesday.
Yes, listen, I want to give some updates from yesterday, okay?
What happened?
Okay.
Number one, when we did this segment about blocking people, I thought the young man was talking about Tokyo Tony, Black China's mama, for some reason.
No,
He was talking
Tokyo
about
Jets.
Tokyo Jets. Okay, so drop on the clues bomb for Tokyo Jets. She's dope from Grand Hustle.
I saw she was very confused why you would say that.
I was confused once I realized that he wasn't talking about Black China's mama. Okay, but she put out a project yesterday called 90s Baby. So salute to the homie Tokyo Jets. That's my partner.
But Tokyo Tony just got hit by a car yesterday.
Oh, Lord.
She did.
Have mercy. Okay.
Yeah, because when you said it, I was like, what are you talking about? You was like, she's not a celebrity.
All right.
But you had the wrong person
Just
in your
leave all
mind.
the Tokyos alone.
Yeah, okay. All right. You just have to be a mood killer. She got hit by a car, but she's still not a celebrity.
She's
Let's be clear
posting
about
herself on in Sun's Shade Room.
that. Oh, Tokyo Tony?
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do when you're trying to become a celebrity. So she got hit by a car. She got to make the most of that situation. Also,
My goodness.
Amy Schumer unblocked me on Twitter.
Oh, she finally
she
did.
Yes, she did. She
We were
unblocked me
very,
on Twitter.
very excited about that.
And she hit me up yesterday. Just to be like, she don't know why she had me blocked.
I'm sure she knows why.
She said her assistant runs her Twitter. Because it didn't make no sense because she follows me on Instagram, but she had me blocked
But
on
you
Twitter.
used to say how she's not funny.
I definitely said one of her stand-up specials weren't funny. And?
That's probably why I was thinking. If you want to know.
You think people get upset over stuff
yes,
like that still?
That's
Yes,
her career
yes.
and her livelihood.
Music, I guess. Artists.
That's like if
Ashanti-
somebody told Envy he was a whack DJ. You think he's going to follow them?
He's been hearing that for 20 years. It hasn't stopped him yet.
I
gonna follow
actually
somebody.
haven't. And Ashanti, I spoke to Ashanti yesterday. She said she reblocked you because she really doesn't like you.
She did not reblock me. I am not blocked from Ashanti.
Just check that.
Check.
But
I checked yesterday.
yesterday I had a very, very eventful day. I went to go see Tiana Taylor perform.
How was that?
She's incredible. Danny Lay is the artist that was opening up for her. She's also on Def Jam. She did a great job also. And then I went to go see Ella Mai perform. I was all over the place yesterday.
Oh, you was going to see
see.
all the little fly, fresh R&B singers, huh?
Yes, I was supporting all the ladies out last night. I realized I'm not the biggest concert person, but I went to On the Run over the weekend. And then I went to go see Tiana Taylor. I saw Danny Lay. And then I went to go see Ella Mai. I've been very active these past
A
few
lot
days.
going on with
Yeah,
you. Yee. All right.
I just don't like people that much.
We know.
That's too much. That's way too much socializing.
But it's
for me.
nothing like seeing somebody perform live to really see the energy.
That's true.
That's why I watch.
Tiana
that is
Taylor's
true.
incredible.
I know. I be seeing it on Instagram. She be going crazy. Drop
You
on
saw
the
the other
clues
day
bomb
when
for
her
Tiana
wig
Taylor.
came off and she just held it in her hand and kept
She
it
kept going.
Y'all
And
know
I got a
that's
chance
right,
to see
Taylor.
Junie last night. I never seen Tiana Taylor and Iman's daughter in person.
No, okay.
Super cute.
Oh.
And Lala was there.
Okay.
And Poe
Okay.
Johnson. Everybody was out and about. I had a good night.
You know I love Tiana Taylor. She's a superstar to me.
All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about this morning. Latham Thomas will be joining us this morning.
Glow Maven.
Yes.
Explain to the people
She's
who
a
that
doula.
is.
So she actually helped deliver Khaled, his baby, and his wife Nicole, and also Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys' baby. She has books out where she talks about your glow and
Now
owning
explain the
your
doula
glow.
thing. So you don't go to the hospital with a doula, or you still do go to the hospital? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
first of all,
not-
if you do go to the hospital, you can bring a doula with you. And sometimes with the doula, what they do is there's a lot of things that are unnecessary that they might tell you need to do. And they kind of push back against those things. Have somebody there to just speak for you and try to have the whole.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure what a doula is, but that's why we have her coming in this morning so she can tell you what a doula is. But I do know that
Okay.
this conversation is very timely for me, being that my wife is expecting our third child next month. And
I could deliver. I could
Shut
deliver
up.
if you need me to. I
Every
already did
pa-
5.
every
I
kid.
could do
the,
it.
the delivery is the thing, though. See, she's scheduled to have a C-section, but I don't want them cutting open my baby again. Okay, so we had a C-section with the second one. So,
Right, so a doula would be the type of person who would be there to make sure that if that doesn't have to happen unless absolutely necessary, they'll try to make sure it doesn't have to happen.
that's what doctors will tell you, that you have to have a
Or they tell
C-section if you've had one
Or
before.
they tell you have to have an epidural. They tell you a lot of things.
Right. Right. And we're going to speak to DJ Self in a little bit. DJ Self got into what do you want to call it? A spat? A spat? What
What's
do they call
a
it?
spat?
I missed all
An
that.
argument back and forth with Nicki Minaj last night.
I was busy on social media trying to talk about mental health because of Taraji P. Henson's new foundation and because of my new book, and then I saw all of that smoke. It was too late though, and so you got to put me up on game. It was too late. I didn't want to go to bed
I
with
was
that on
out
my
and
spirit.
about. I came home and This morning,
Yeah,
I
they
see
were-
all kinds of hell broke loose.
There's a lot. Nicki Minaj and DJ Self were going back and forth with each other. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. But front page news, what we talking about, Yee?
We are going to talk about yet another taping. Omarosa taped another call with Donald
God.
Trump, so you can imagine she has a lot of tapes. What? I should tape what goes on up here behind the scenes.
We'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get into some front page news. Aretha Franklin. What's going on with Aretha Yee?
Yeah, here's an update. Yesterday we told you that she was at a hospital in Detroit and she was gravely ill. Well, now they are saying she's in hospice care at her home. That's what sources close to Aretha Franklin are saying. She was the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1987. That was a year before the Beatles were inducted. And in 1994, at age 52, she was the youngest at that time to receive a Kennedy Center honor. So we are praying for Aretha Franklin. 44 Grammy nominations, 18 wins.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a good thing for her to be at home, right? In the hospice? Instead of in the hospital?
I am not sure about it. I think
not
her
necessarily.
family just surrounding her.
Okay.
She's just more comfortable that way.
Yeah, just more
Got
comfortable
you.
at home.
All right,
What
now
else are we talking about, you?
let's talk about Omarosa. We told you yesterday about the White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly. She was on, Omarosa was on Meet the Press, and she played the audio of John Kelly firing her. Here's a recap.
I think it's important to understand that if we make this a friendly departure, we can all be, you can look at your time here in the White House as a year of service to the nation, and then you can go on without any type of difficulty in the future relative to your reputation.
Well, now she has a phone call that she recorded with Donald Trump. And this is the day after she was fired. Here's
None
that
of this
recording.
is illegal?
Hold on, it might be. Here's this recording which aired on NBC's Today.
Omarosa, what's going on? I just saw on the news that you're thinking about leaving. What happened?
General Kelly came to me and said that you guys wanted me to leave.
No, nobody even told me about it. Nobody,
Wow.
they run a big operation, but I didn't know it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn it. I don't love you leaving at all.
Damn it.
Damn it.
He could have pardoned that firing. He's the president.
I am jealous of Omarosa's book promo.
Oh my God.
I am jealous of Omarosa's book promo because this is book promo. Not to mention 10 to 12 years ago, this would have been a great storyline for Celebrity Apprentice.
But how did he try to act like he had no idea that this happened? And then he said,
That's
damn
funny.
it. He sounded so phony.
You do realize 12 years ago, these were the two stars of Celebrity Apprentice, right? Is anybody
Yes.
paying attention to this? America is really the greatest country in the world because you can really be anything you want to be in America.
But the indication for this now is they're wondering what other tapes are there that exist. Are there other staff members who actually recorded things without the knowledge? They have this whole thing where you're not allowed to bring even your phone in when you have these meetings in the White House, and it's an honor system. So they don't check you, but they assume that you're not bringing any of these devices in with you. So I don't know if that will change moving forward, but Omarosa has more tapes, and who knows who else has some tapes.
Omarosa is an opportunist. Her loyalty lies with whoever is providing her opportunity at the time because there's so much old video of her lying for Donald Trump and saying Donald Trump has never said the N-word. That's not true. He's not racist. But now that she's not in the White House no more, he's all of those things. She's truly only loyal to herself, and she's out here promoting the hell out of her book. And I can't wait to see where her book falls on the New York Times bestsellers list because her book promo is incredible.
Now, Donald Trump tweeted out, wacky Omarosa, who got fired 3 times on The Apprentice, now got fired for the last time. She never made it, never will. She begged me for a job, tears in her eyes. I said, okay. People in the White House hated her. She was vicious, but not smart. I would rarely see her, but he heard really bad things. Nasty to people and would constantly miss meetings and work.
Omarosa is the only black woman in America that other black people will not come to the defense for when a white man is slandering her.
Is she the only one?
The only black woman in America.
Stacey Dash.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. When you're right, you're right, Envy. Omarosa and Stacey Dash. You're right.
There you
Only
go.
black women in America that nobody will come to the defense for, no other black people when they're getting slandered by a white man.
All right. Well, that is your front page news.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. If you need to, maybe you're pissed off, you had a bad night, or if you feel blessed and you want to spread some positivity, either or. 800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
So you better have the same energy.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Miles.
Miles, what's up, man? Get it off your
How
chest.
are you, sir?
How you doing? I just wanted to bring some light to a situation, a Daniel Clary situation. I don't know if y'all know about it.
In school us.
It was a young black man in Pennsylvania who had I guess he got into a shootout with the state police.
Nah,
You
I'm
guys
not
know about
familiar.
that? Well, that's my girlfriend's little brother, and the situation isn't right. So I'm trying to get as much exposure as possible. Try to get some activists and some lawyers.
Can you tell us
Anybody
his
to
name
help at this
so we
point.
can search the story?
You just
Daniel
said
Clary.
Daniel Clary.
DanielClary.
Is he alive?
Yes, he's alive. He was shot 4 times. He ended up returning fire to the state troopers.
Oh, okay.
And,
That's the
you know,
situation where they made him take a sobriety test and wrestled him to the
Yes,
floor. He got up.
yes.
Okay, the dash cam
But
footage.
the
dash
sobriety
cam
test,
footage.
that was thrown out in trial because they do a parts per billion, and that didn't meet the criteria. So that was inaccessible.
Okay.
Couldn't use that. So
Wow.
pretty
Did
much
he
my thing
did he
is-
shoot the police officers? Did the police officers get shot? Because he fired like 5, 6, 7 rounds. I wasn't sure if anybody got shot.
One state trooper was hit. He was put in critical condition. The other state trooper, he's alive. He's well. But it's a lot of funny play with this right now. So we're trying to get as much exposure and try to do something for a little man because he don't deserve this.
How old was he?
He's 22. He still has a lot of life left.
Oh, he's 22 years old. Okay.
We
All
on
right,
it, my
thanks for
brother.
your call.
We're going to dig into it, sir.
Hello, who's this?
This is Dominique.
Hey, Dominique, get it off your chest,
Dominique,
mama.
why you sound so angry this morning?
I'm happy this morning, though. For real. I got my favorite job. I sit down all day. I had a long week yesterday. I hated my job last week yesterday. I'm happy.
So wait. You sit down all day at work? What do you do?
Just make parts.
You make what?
I just make parts.
Oh, make parts.
She makes parts.
Flyers. Yes.
Oh, got you.
Yes.
That sounds like a good job. It sounds like a nice, high-paying job.
It is, and I get to sit down in the air all day with my feet up and don't nobody be over my back.
You living your best life. You living your best life.
Best life, yes, say that.
All right,
Well,
baby.
thank you, mama.
I love when people act like living your best life is a Bible scripture. You living your best life. Say that. Preach.
Absolutely. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. Say it with your chest. We want to hear from you on the Breakfast Club.
So if you got something on your mind, let it out.
Hello, who's this?
This is Chris. Who's this?
Yo, daddy. Chris, get it off your chest, Chris.
I don't really got anything to get off my chest, man. I just woke up and I saw you on Twitter, so I figured I'd call because I got nothing else.
You guys.
We don't got time for it, okay? It's people who got things they want to get off their chest. Next caller.
Hello. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Hey, Angela. Get it off your chest, mama.
Charlamagne, I think you are the bomb.
Thank you,
You're
baby.
straightforward. You don't care what anybody thinks. You got your act together. People don't like that. When you tell the truth, they don't like to hear the truth.
Well, thank
My
you,
mama
baby.
always told me the truth hurts. So I just thought I had to say that. And hi, everyone else. Love you guys.
Love you back. Hello, who's this?
This is Ashia from Once Upon a Pause.
From Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Pause. I am mad at you, Charlamagne. Hi, Yee. Hi, Envy.
What up?
I'm mad at
Good
you,
morning.
Charlamagne.
That's a very long line. The line to love me is much shorter.
I love you, Charlamagne, but I'm mad at you. I met you in Chicago back in January. I gave you and I gave a couple people in your team my pen, so it's a Once Upon a Pause, and my business card. And after calling up here, I got put on hold to receive you guys' address so I can send y'all some stuff, and I got hung up on.
What?
Wow, who
Why
hung
would
up on
Envy
you?
hang up on
That's
you?
Envy that
I'm
hangs
so
up.
sick of Envy hanging up on
you,
people.
mama.
Not hang up on.
It's
What do
probably,
you need, baby? You want me to get your
female
address?
voice?
You want the address to send us some stuff?
Yes, and I told you about my organization, Charlamagne, and you ain't never post my stuff on your page.
That's so foul.
Organization
Oh,
page.
my goodness.
I don't even know what the
so
organization
foul.
is. What's the organization, boo?
She just told you.
No,
She
she
just
didn't.
told you.
It's called Once Upon a Pause.
She said it like 10 times.
Yeah, but what is that? What does that do? What does that do? What's
It's a
the?
Fan Foundation out in Chicago. We have 2 programs. I have a really well known for our mobile pet pantry. So I go out around the Chicago areas and we hand out pet food to families in need.
Oh, that's dope. See, you don't even realize that you just got to shout out the 80+ markets. You know what I'm saying? That would cost a lot of money if you had to run that through the sales department.
But you
just
still
got
ain't
that for
follow
free
her,
on the Breakfast
and you
Club.
still
See?
ain't retweet her,
You
and
see how
she
the
gave
love
you
goes?
stuff. You are so foul, Charlamagne. He's so mean, mama.
I'm gonna put you on hold. I'm gonna put you on hold till 7:30, and then I'm gonna give you the address to mail some stuff to us. Okay?
My goodness. Hold on, Mama.
Hold on till 7:30. Hold on 1 second. No, somebody go give her the address right now, please. Somebody go give her the address right now, please.
Hello, who's this?
What's going on? What's going on, Envy? Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Charlamagne.
Good morning.
What's up, brother?
Yo, you guys were just talking about how the two worst black women in America was Stacey Dash and Omarosa.
No, we didn't say two words. We didn't say two words. We just said they're the only black women in America that no other black people will come to the defense of when they're getting slandered by a white man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wanted to throw Raven Simone in there too.
Who?
Raven Simone, he said.
Raven Simone.
Nah, Raven Simone ain't Omarosa Stacey Dash level.
Not at all. But thanks for calling, man.
All right, man. Have a good day.
All right, bro.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. We got rumors on the way?
I mean, should we get right into Nicki Minaj this morning since this just was happening?
You got dreams? You got dreams of being with Nicki Minaj?
Should we get right into it?
You said you want to get right into her.
Sure.
We'll start off with Nicki Minaj then. Let's do it.
All right, we'll get into that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
Well, Nicki Minaj sat down with DJ Clue yesterday and she talked about her album. Now, as you all know, the song Barbie Dreams was making the rounds with her discussing different people. Here's what she had to say to Clue about the guys that she name dropped.
That's not a diss record at all. Should be mad if they wasn't acknowledged in that song.
I didn't hear my shout out.
The
So
real
we're gonna need the remix, all right?
From that ever understand that's a compliment being mentioned in that record. Like, how could you be a Biggie fan and not understand that's a compliment?
Who thought that was a diss record? There was people out there that really thought that was a diss record.
No, nobody thought that was a diss record. And people were mad when Biggie shouted them out. Like, there were people mad when Biggie did that record.
Yeah, but Biggie said things like he'd rather have sex with RuPaul than those ugly ass Escape girls. So yeah. Yeah,
I can see a couple of people being tight.
I can see it. If I was the members of Escape, I'd be very upset over that.
Yeah, I'd be mad too. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, she just had to clarify that. I was waiting for her to mention Nas on that record, but that didn't happen. All right. Well, she also talked about a new boyfriend that she has.
I mean, I be seeing all the, on your IG, I be seeing all the, the Chanel bags and the gifts and the flowers. So I'm like,
New Boy did get me those Chanel bags.
Who?
New Boy.
Ooh, who's New Boy?
I just think that nobody needs to know about who I'm dating anymore because in the beginning of my career, I was like so tight-lipped about who I was dating and everything was just better off like that. The minute you start talking about that overshadows everything else, I just decided, you know what? No more public stuff.
I don't care about all that,
got
man.
a shout out.
What's up with all this smoke with Self? I don't care about all that other stuff. What's up with the smoke?
All right, you want to get right into that?
I missed all the smoke last night. I was too busy on social media talking about mental health.
I'm trying to catch up on what happened. But
what happened?
Nicki Minaj took to social media and started talking about DJ Self. She said he's mad because I refused to give him a drop or a hug. He was just up there dissing the bitch, thinking that would make me F with him. LMAO, joke's on you once again, dummy. Passed up on your meal ticket. Now you get crumbs from her table. You're a reality TV hoe. Used to be a respected DJ.
Who sells meal ticket? Who Cardi?
Yeah, I think that's what she was talking about. And then she said, where my hug, face, ass, N-word. Dissing another female rapper won't make me like you. You hold no weight in this city. N-word, look at your roster. I did Clue show and he was up there looking like a sad kid, asking for a drop, trying to get a hug.
What's good, my G? Can I get a drop?
I won't give you a drop. You're not a DJ, ho.
Don't. I got PTSD. Don't do that to me.
Now she goes on to say, why you wait till I leave? I got some hungry N-words with me, bitch. I'll be back tomorrow.
Is that a threat?
That's a threat.
You was just dissing her. You will remain bitter and broke, looking for scraps at VH1. You love my album and just said how it's the best thing ever. You hoes way too emotional. I'm glad I didn't give ya hoe ass no drop and no hug. Say it to a real N-word face hoe. Should I tell the people what you told me about her? You would want me to spread that rumor. You're bitter and it shows. Suck D and go get that crummy VH1 check. Tomorrow you can repeat that to some real ones. Whew, it's a lot going on.
I'm confused.
Now, I'm
confused on what happened here.
I'll tell you what Self had to say. He said, well, there you have it. I never asked for a hug or a drop. Truth is, I said hi. She said hi back. Never knew she had an issue with me, so we only speak when she has a project dropping. So by that, I know what my relation is with her. Clue asked her to do a drop for DJ Self. She declined, which I wasn't in the room. Why was she not? I have no clue, because I'm friends with Safari or Dream Doll. Who knows? I'm just trying to move the culture here in New York. If you're not with that way, please stay away from me. me, but that's very corny to me to have an issue with a person who you have no relationship with and to beef with me, the reality hoe, the same week your album dropped.
Now, Self told me that Nicki reacted like that on Twitter because he said Cardi's album was better than Nicki's album. Any truth to that?
I have no idea. I didn't
That's what
hear.
Self told me. I refuse.
Well, I spoke to Self, and he said that's exactly what happened. He said he's seen it. He said hello. She said hello back, and he didn't know there was an altercation. And he said
I heard it was a dry ass hello though.
Yeah, it was a dry ass hello. And he said after, he thought, she did a drop. She didn't do a drop. And when he was on air, they asked him on air whose album is better, Nicki Minaj's and Cardi B's. And he said Cardi B's. And he said allegedly that's when she started wilding out on him on Twitter.
I refuse to believe Nicki would react like that because Self.
Well, Dream Doll posted, "I'ma come clean." Karen Civil called Self on FaceTime saying Dream Doll is the reason why
the Royal
he got
Rumble?
no drop.
Yes.
I was sitting right there.
People just running into the ring. Where Dream Doll come from?
And then
all
Karen
this?
Civil said, full-blown lie.
Karen
Self
jumped
knows
in too?
Nothing like that was said to him by me. Don't use me or my name to fuel any ish.
Where was I at last night when this Royal Rumble was happening and all these people were just rushing into the ring?
Mariah Lynn jumped
You were
in.
sleeping. What?
Mariah Lynn?
Mariah came with the mayonnaise-colored smoke?
And she added, Nicki Minaj, what type of hoe time are you on? Crazy how you disrespecting a man who has helped so many people to advance and elevate their career, but I can't think of one single person that you have. I've heard stories from Safari, but now I see for myself you a real-life corny-ass bitch.
Dropping the clues bomb for Gwyneth Entertainment, damn it. All right.
Did Safari jump in or no?
Gwyneth forming like Voltron on that ass.
Look,
All
Safari's
right.
still crying about that
Right.
song.
Yeah, all right. Gwyneth Entertainment artists are not letting their CEO go down without a fight, all right?
Man, this is too much.
Drop one of the clues bombs from Mariah Lynn and Dream Dog. All right, somebody from Young Money, it's time to tag in. Lil Twist, where you at?
Oh, stop
Where
it.
you at, Lil Twist? All right,
Stop
listen,
it.
I just don't take any smoke serious whenever people are in promo mode. All right, Nicki got an album out. She's promoting Queen Radio.
Well, that's the last thing she
Self is
she
always
tweeted
promoting
out.
something.
Nicki Minaj tweeted, woo, child Queen Radio gonna be steamy on Thursday.
How we know this ain't all a Mona Scott Young storyline? Everybody just promoting
Well,
each
she's
other.
not on Love and Hip Hop, so
And
Nicki
neither is
doesn't
Self.
need
Self's not on this year either.
Self's not on this year?
Oops.
So how he a reality
Sorry.
holder?
Well, former
Former
maybe.
He
reality.
was. Former reality. Oh my goodness.
My gosh.
This is
But
a lot,
anyway, we'll
man.
keep you guys.
This is a lot.
I wake up
This is
and
a lot.
this is what happens. All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
This is too much. All right. Well, we got front page news coming up. What we talking about front page news?
Oh, let's talk about another man who crashed a plane. We'll tell you about this guy who stole the plane and crashed it into his own house.
Somebody else stole a plane?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that easy to steal a plane?
Don't worry about it.
Is there a key in the ignition? Can you have to start a plane up like with key
Man, if you
ignition?
don't shut your beige ass up and go to
I don't
commercial.
Come what?
You heard me.
All right. Front page news when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club.
I
Now
just
let's
wanna
get
say,
some front page.
Today
What?
is Magic Johnson's born day too. Drop on the clues bombs from Magic Johnson. He's 59 years old today, and he looks
Wow.
healthier than everybody in this room.
It's also Halle Berry's birthday, by the way.
And Jackie Harry. Jackie Harry's 62.
Nice.
All
All right.
Well, let's get in some front page news. Now, somebody else stole a plane?
47-year-old Dwayne Yude actually stole the plane. He was just arrested and released on bail for allegedly assaulting his wife. And that's when he went and stole the plane and crashed it into his own home where his wife was staying. Now, fortunately for his wife, she managed to escape. She was in the house and so was a boy at the time of the crash, but his biological children were not in the home at the time of the crash. Before he stole the plane, he told them to leave that house where he later crashed into and told them to go stay at the other house that night, which they did do. So,
Oh, he cares about the kids.
right, he was an experienced pilot. He had access to the jet because he flew for the company that owned it, and he was the only one in the aircraft when it crashed. He died, but his wife and the boy escaped.
Well, I think that they need to make a club for airplanes now. You know what I'm saying? Remember
What do
how
you
they used to- remember how they used to have the club for the steering wheel for cars?
Oh, the club.
Clearly, they need to put some type of club on the airplane.
But he had
You're a little
access to the
you're a
plane
little old.
because he was allowed to fly it, so he had access to it. It wasn't his plane.
It was how you just got access to a plane?
He probably is a pilot.
Oh,
All right, now here's something to know. Google tracks you even if you are not putting on your location information. So, you know,
Duh.
if your location privacy settings are enabled, you want privacy, you don't want them to track your location, they're still tracking you anyway.
Duh.
So this privacy breach affects over 2 billion user devices. So even if you think you turned off your locations, they still know where you are.
You don't pay attention when you notice or when you leaving the house on your phone and it'll tell you like whatever miles are timed to your destination and you ain't even put it in. It'll tell you you're going to work or tell you you're going to the gym. That's scary.
Yeah, and I always get to work faster than what they tell me on Google when I get in the car. It'll say it takes me 22 minutes, but it really takes me 15 minutes to get to work. I don't think they have me going the right way. All right, so that is your front page news.
All right, now let's talk Big D Energy. All right, 800-585-1051.
That's what I'm saying, Envy. Talk about
I just want to say something to you, man. You know, there's 3 people in this room. One's name is DJ Envy. One's name is Charlamagne the God. One's name is Angela Yee. Angela Yee is a woman. I think that, you know, when it came to that topic, you should have probably let Angela Yee tee that one up, bro.
No, Envy wants to talk. I want to talk about it too.
No. Issa Rae was here. Yee, tell her now. Let's have this conversation.
No. I think you should go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, we were talking behind the scenes about Big D Energy, and I said I don't get Big D Energy from Charlamagne. I don't get that.
What's going on here?
Yee. Where was I at when this conversation happened?
I don't know.
I don't know what you talking about right now.
You was here. We were talking Big D Energy.
Why would you be having a conversation about my penis?
The Radio King YouTube channel.
I know.
Subscribe.
Now this is awkward.
This guy is crazy.
I'm sensing a small energy from both of you right now.
This guy is nuts, man. Yee, what's up with this dude, man?
I don't know, but Issa and I were talking about Big D Energy, and we were talking about people who lack that and how you can tell when people actually do have it. Actually, I tweeted about it, and one woman said that she's always been able to predict the size of a man's penis based on that energy.
Well, she should have been a weatherman.
She's never been wrong.
Okay, she's like what do you call that? A peneurologist?
A peneurologist.
Well, Issa Rae was here, and this is her talking about it.
You know how you just walk and you like, you know, you just walk with a certain confidence.
No.
You have like.
I don't know.
For guys, it's a real thing. For women, we could tell the size of your by the way that you carry yourself.
Really? That ain't true.
All right. You could tell who don't have that swagger.
I don't believe in profiling. You know what I'm saying? I don't like profiling. I don't like racial profiling. I just don't like profiling people. So I don't think that that's a thing that women should be doing.
It's just a certain kind of confidence that men have when they know.
Yeah, we don't get that aura from you anyway, Charlamagne. But what's the question? 800-585-1051.
Bro,
what is the question, Yee?
I don't know.
Why don't you tell him what your original DJ name was?
You had the question. DJ Shrimp.
Tell him what your original DJ name was.
DJ Shrimp in the house.
All right.
It was DJ Shrimp.
Is Big D Energy a real thing? For the ladies, call us up and let us know. You guys, do y'all think you have it?
I'm going to just be here for this one. All right.
800-585-1051. Is Big D Energy a thing? Ladies, call us up right now. 800-585-1051.
I don't know nothing about no BDE. I know TDE.
What? Tiny Energy? That's what you got?
Oh, let me tell Top Dog, you said
Absol, you know what I mean? J-Rock.
I don't get, never mind. Call us up right now, 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Breakfast Club, good morning. Now, if you just joined us, Angela Yee was talking
about the same mistake that I just told you not to make instead of just letting Angela Yee tee it up.
Go ahead, Yee.
Let me tee it up for you. We're talking about Big D Energy and exactly what that is. That's basically, people that have men who have a certain type of confidence about them because of the size of their manhood.
So, Envy, can you recognize BDE?
No. I that's not something that pops up on my radar.
Oh, you don't have BDE radar?
No, I don't. But in this room, I don't pick it up. I feel like small.
What do you mean? You feel? Are you saying that they used to call you DJ Shrimp for a reason? Like you don't have BDE is what you're saying?
Now
I'm saying when you come around, I don't feel Big D Energy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You're right. I've told y'all many times in this room that I have a very average sized penis. 7 inches and 3/4. 8 during this season because it's summertime, and about 3 inches of girth. I would call that average, right?
Now, it was circulating on social media that your friend Pete Davidson has Big D Energy.
PDD?
Yes.
I've heard that before.
Oh,
I've definitely heard that before.
You with a good time.
First of all, drop one clues bomb for my guy PDD. You know PDD, that's a real good friend of mine. And I've definitely heard that from quite a few ladies. And that's when you know a man. That's when you know a man has BDE.
Why are they telling you that?
Exactly.
Yeah, why are you going around talking behind the scenes about your best friend's penis?
No, that's when you know a man has BDE because like women will come to me, crying about Pete. Nigga, Pete don't want to be with me, whatever. And then that's what they'll say to me. Like they'll talk about how big his penis is.
I'm gonna tell you how you know you don't have Big D Energy. If you're messing with a girl and she won't let you come up to her apartment and makes you have sex in the car.
That's not true. That means
Does that happen to you, Charlamagne?
That just means That just means
What's that
she
mean?
knows that you are a smut, and she just smutting you out. Sometimes women smut men out too.
That just
don't
means
mean-
let's just get this over with. I don't want you to come upstairs.
Absolutely.
That's all. All that means is that she just smutting me out. Sometimes women smut men out too, and it's okay. I'm fine with
Nope.
it. You saw
She feels
Insecure
bad.
the other night when Molly was in the kitchen and dude was giving her cunnilingus, and he tried to lift her head up, and she pushed his head back down like, no, get back down there and do
At
what
least
you
you
gotta
let him
do.
in the apartment.
That's true.
That's true.
That is true.
She felt bad with your little will penis. Anyway, let's go to the phone lines.
Did you just
Hello,
talk about
who's
penis
this?
like it was a child?
Wow.
Victor from Miami. How's everybody doing?
Hi, Victor.
I want to explain to you how that big D energy works.
Okay,
And works
explain
all the
it.
time.
What's up with you guys, man?
I do not drink. I don't need women to drink. I don't drink myself. But when I pull in that room and women see the dancing of that salsa and merengue in the waistline, they're going to say, this guy has that good energy. Imagine you play that. Cardi B, it's very important. I like it like that.
I like it like
that.
Yes, Evangela G standing in there, and then she sees me walking in. Of course, I look fabulous, no? And then she looks at me, and I'm dancing, and I'm twisting up and down. She's going to say, ooh, I want Victor to hit that G-spot.
Right, I can tell by the way you trill your R's.
That energy, see. Yes, baby.
Okay.
And let me explain something to you. It's all about the dancing, mommy. Because if you say to yourself, if you say to yourself, wow, he dances that good, I imagine how he dances with me.
Oh, it's not
dancing?
not looking good for you guys up here because I
That's a
seen.
lot, though, because I got the rhythm, I got the up and down,
What does dancing got to do with the size of your penis? Have a nice day. Have a nice day, sir. Have a nice day.
You're hating.
Have a nice day.
Charlamagne, let's go wepa. Come on, say wepa. Wepa.
I seen Evie's dab, so I already know that's not too good.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning. This is Jay.
Hello, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Finally, a woman to talk about Big D energy on the Breakfast Club this morning. My God.
So I call it the sense.
The what?
And it's real. The sense.
Now
It's real. It's real.
So explain how you can tell to the guys because they're not understanding.
So length is important. That's true. I can definitely tell with like a little bit of like their attitude or whatever. But I can also tell how good they are based off of the way they carry themselves and how forceful they are and how like aggressive. Not like aggressive, like intimidating, but just like they know how to like approach a woman.
Right. It's a confidence that they have.
Let me ask you a question. Based off what you hear of me on the radio, would you say Charlamagne the God has
No.
Charlamagne, let me tell you, I've been listening to you since I literally used to watch on MTV on Wendy Williams' show.
Mhm.
Like, I was so obsessed, and I was obsessed with your confidence. I was like, who is this guy? So I definitely feel like there was a little bit of a sense.
But just only a little.
Could you let her finish?
She said a little
let
bit.
her finish.
Just a little
There was
bit.
a little
All I
bit,
heard was a
yeah.
little bit.
No, honestly, but I didn't get a lot because I didn't see him a lot. But I used to watch every episode.
Okay, so
Thank
little
you,
bit
Mama.
is the key words here.
Thank
so,
you.
Okay.
All right, have a good
Thanks
day.
for calling. You
I just-
okay, little bit?
First of all, I would just like to say that when you say things like decent, it does sound like you're talking like the penis has a fragrance. It does. It sounds like you're saying penis scent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, little bit.
All right, 800-585-1051. Ladies, do you sense Big D energy when you're around somebody? Or is it just like Charlamagne and he has a little...
I really wish you would let Angela Yee ask this question, bro. I don't understand.
You know what? I like that me and Envy could predict penis size together.
That's right. Y'all
Got
do y'all
somebody to
thing,
hang with.
girls. Because it's not like y'all
Shut
can
up.
synchronize periods. So I understand. You know?
Shut up. All right, it's the breakfast.
And little bit.
Whittle, pee-pee. Charlamagne.
I have an average size penis, sir. Okay? 7 inches, 3/4, 8 during the summertime. So I'm good right now. 3 inches of girth.
Now,
3
E, what
inches
is the
of those are
question?
inside of him. You know, part of your
What's the
penis is
question,
inside you.
I know. I've been trying to pull it out for years. I want that extra.
What's the question,
Pull
Yee?
that penis out of you.
Yee, ask the question, damn it.
There's a lot going on this morning. All right, we are talking about Big D energy. Can you predict when a man has a rather large penis just by his confidence?
No, I don't want y'all to think that we just pulled this out of thin air. Okay, this came from a
Where'd you pull it out
conversation
of?
that
Where'd
Issa
you pull
Rae.
it out of?
It's a conversation Issa Rae and Angela Yee was having last week. Okay, could you play a clip of it, please?
You know how you just walk and you just walk with a certain confidence.
No.
You have like
I don't know.
For guys, It's a real thing for women. We could tell the size of your by the way that you carry yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
True.
All right.
Yes, and we came to the conclusion that Charlamagne has a whittle.
I don't know why my penis is on your mind, sir.
But let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Hello, who's this?
Hi, my name is Destiny.
Hey, Destiny.
Hey, Destiny, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored.
Now,
man.
your name is Destiny,
And
so you
small.
have to be able to predict some things.
I think I'm a better predictor of little shrimp energy.
Ooh.
Like, I feel like guys who are lacking in the pants department, they overcompensate in other areas of their life. They're usually extremely cocky, and they feel like they have to present themselves in a way to let people know, well, I'm better than you, or I have these capabilities, but I think it's because they just feel uncomfortable.
It's like a Napoleon penis complex.
Okay, so listen.
Absolutely.
Destiny, in this room, who has the SDE, the small D energy, out of me and DJ
I don't know
Envy?
parts of that.
Come on,
It's okay,
Destiny.
Destiny.
You're part of the family. Out of
Who
Charlamagne
in
the
this
God
room
and
is
DJ
overcompensating?
Envy, who's got the SDE?
Charlamagne, I really do. I love you. I do.
Little bit.
She has not answered the question.
Little bit.
She could be setting this up to say, Charlamagne, I love you.
Answer the
Envy
question.
clearly has the SDE. Go ahead. I'm Destiny. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to respond. Go ahead.
Come on, little bit.
The way Envy carries himself reminds me a lot of my fiance. My fiance is not lacking in the pants department.
That's what I'm talking about. You let the
Okay, Mr. Overcompensating.
Okay, Destiny, I understand why you feel that way.
You said you weren't going to respond. Thank you very much, Destiny.
Thank you,
we
Destiny.
appreciate
She's
you.
entitled to her opinion. Okay, I've never claimed to have a big penis. All
I
right,
have a bigger penis than both of y'all.
7 inches 3/4, 8
Yes,
when it's
you
warm.
Oh, man. All right, let's
You
take
taking
one more
another
caller. Yes. Hello, who's this?
He's still trying to come back.
He's trying. Adam.
Coming in from the rear.
Adam, can you recognize BDE? Because I need to ask you a question.
Wait
if
a
so,
minute. First of all, good morning to all of you.
Hey, Adam.
good morning.
Hey, Adam.
Like Charlamagne and DJ Envy, I'm a faithful member of the
Faithful black male
So I
community,
don't-
sir. It's a gated community.
Yes, sir. But before I was, the last thing that was on my mind was if my D was small enough or big enough, because I came with the confidence that, I never had a female before tell me that my D wasn't big enough. So
Who says that?
it's like when you getting it in with females, you know what I'm saying? They'll tell you like that's not big enough. That's
No
not,
one is going to say that's not big enough.
That's a goddamn lie.
No.
So, bro, let me ask you a question, bro. Bro, let me ask you a serious question, right?
We just go ghost.
Now, Charlamagne, do you get big D energy from Charlamagne?
Man, I'm hanging up.
You know what? God bless you, Adam. I'm so happy for you, Adam. I'm so happy for you just moonwalking out of this conversation and not participating
Well,
in this nonsense.
let's tally up what the listeners
This
have to
is-
say about Big D energy between Envy and Charlamagne.
Listen, let's be clear. Every man.
As a matter of fact, we're going to go to Twitter. We'll do a poll. And we're going to see who has more BDE, Charlamagne or DJ Envy. You guys could weigh in.
I've never claimed to have a big penis. I'm telling you the measurements of my penis right now. 7 inches 3/4, 8 when it's warm out, 3 inches of girth.
Charlamagne's trying to set it up in case he loses in the poll.
That's my penis size. Okay? When I
you know
was
what?
young, I used to think about things like a big penis. I ordered Magna RX pills out of the back of the Double X magazine. I took the Magna RX pills. I was doing the little exercises where you grab your penis when it's flaccid and you stretch it out. I was doing all of that.
But your energy
All
is
right.
still the same.
But growing up, I don't care about that kind of stuff.
All right, what's the moral of the story,
you
little man?
shouldn't.
The moral of the story is
You're still a nice guy.
the moral of the story is when it comes to your penis size, you have to remember the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
don't even know.
Courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There's nothing you can do about your penis size. There's no surgeries we can do. Nothing. It is what it is.
Oh, man.
right,
Spoken
little
like
man.
a guy without BDE.
Yeah, we got rumors on the way.
Yes, we are going to talk about will.i.am. Found out how he lost 20 pounds, but he did. Also, Kendrick Lamar, you'll be excited to see him at Made in America. We'll tell you why.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report
Talk to him.
with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
Well, YG said he's going to be suing American Airlines. He said, F American Airlines, racist Fs, and I'm sober. Y'all racist F all y'all at American Air. Here's what he had to say on his Instagram.
American Airlines on Bloods. They kicked me off the plane. They talking about I'm drunk. I'm sober than a motherfucker. Racist ass motherfucker.
Ooh, I don't know what was going on, but when he was on the Breakfast Club, he did say he needs to go to rehab.
Man, stop, man.
He was joking.
I mean, two things can be true, but I mean, in that situation, I don't think so. And how did they know he was drunk? Was he acting belligerent on the plane or something?
I have no idea. He didn't look in that clip like he was out of his mind drunk or anything like that, but I have no idea exactly what happened before he started filming. So I don't know, but he said he's going to be suing them. I don't know what happened to get you kicked off the airline like that. All right, Issa Rae is going to be hosting Rihanna's Diamond Ball, and Childish Gambino is going to perform. So it's always a big event. Have you guys ever gone?
Of course not.
No.
Why not?
Have you?
You said of course not.
I'm not on that level to be at no Diamond Ball.
Yes, all you gotta do is buy a ticket. It's a charity event.
How much is it?
I think they start at $250, but it's for charity. And you guys donate to charity.
That's a lot of money.
I thought it was more than that, though.
That's a lot.
I think that's where they
money.
start.
That's a lot of money for a ticket.
Something like that.
To be in a room with a bunch of people that all I'm gonna do is talk about the next day.
Now, I'm not saying you'll get a seat anywhere, but I'm you know what? I'm not 100% sure where they start. I Googled it. That's what I saw.
Can I wear a graphic t-shirt from Target there?
No.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to be.
But they do have an auction, and just from the auction portion of the event, her charity rose $840,000. So
well, drop on the clues bombs for Rihanna. That's always for a good cause, right?
It's September 13th. It's in New York City. So there you go. And what it does benefit is the Clara Lionel Foundation, and it supports and funds groundbreaking and effective education, health, and emergency response programs around the world.
That's dope.
All right, Kendrick Lamar is going to be playing at Jay-Z's Made in America. Now, all we know right now is that it's going to be a very special set. I don't know what that means, but that's all we know. So if you guys are going to Made in America, Kendrick Lamar will be there alongside Nicki Minaj, Post Malone, Meek Mill, Diplo, Tekashi, Pusha T, Miguel, Janelle Monáe, Alessia Cara, Fat Joe, Daniel Caesar, Black Belly, Ty Dolla $ign, Rich the Kid. It's going to be crazy. Juice WRLD, Black Boy JB, Little B will be there. Saweetie, ASAP 12. Are you guys going, Lil Skies?
No.
Damn, y'all don't go to nothing.
You know this already. I don't even know why you be asking me. You know I ain't going.
But you would randomly go to something. I don't
That's
know.
right, randomly.
I went to Made in America last year. I actually had a really good time. So I would recommend it if you're able to go. All right, will.i.am said he lost 20 pounds. And how did he do that? He cut out meat. Now, we've been talking about this up here. And he said that he revamped his eating habits, and he actually has been sleeping more. He said, I was eating bad, sleeping bad, no regimen. He said, I was going to sleep around 5 a.m. I would argue with people like, all I need is like 2 hours a day. And that's a cat nap, he said. And then I'm just ready to go. But he had all kinds of disorders. He said, starting with high blood pressure, his cholesterol, acid reflux, nasal drip, all kinds of diseases and things that were happening to him. So he said he went to his doctor and he said, hey, your high blood pressure is like your 60, and your cholesterol, where heart disease and diabetes runs in your family, you should take control of that. So now he's doing a plant-based diet. He said it changed his life. His cholesterol is down. He has more energy, and his sleep regimen is awesome.
True. That's dope.
Yeah, so no more processed foods, no more sugar. Really important things to take care of when it comes to your body, right? All right, Taraji P. Henson, speaking of taking care of your body, she has created a foundation to honor her late father who battled mental health issues. So now she has launched the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, and it's going to provide scholarships to African American students who are majoring in mental health, offer mental health services to youth in urban schools, and work to lower the recidivism rates of African American men and women.
Well, drop on the clues bombs with Taraji P. Henson. This is what I was discussing last night on my social media, because I thought that was very, very dope, because that's all I want to talk about nowadays is mental health, mental health, mental health. Okay, mental health is very important. Y'all know I go to therapy every day at 3 o'clock. Every Friday at 3 o'clock.
Now, if you read her memoir, Around the Way Girl, she talks about her relationship with her father that was up and down. She said, my dad fought in the Vietnam War for our country, returned broken, and received little to no physical and emotional support. I stand now in his absence, committed to offering support to African Americans who face trauma daily simply because they are black.
This is why I'm so happy that God touched my heart and told me to make my second book all about anxiety and PTSD and the mental health issues that I struggle with, and going to therapy to deal with them all, because I just feel like the energy is right to have these conversations.
Right.
And I cannot wait.
Since you don't have BDE, you might as well.
Knock it off. See what I'm saying? This is exactly why.
My goodness.
Okay? This is why I suffer from anxiety. I have to worry about things like this. But no, I can't wait to go out on my book tour and have these conversations about mental health. So I salute Taraji P. Henson for what she's doing. Drop on the clues bombs with Taraji P. Henson once again. And any way that, I can help Taraji's foundation, I'm all in.
All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. Charlamagne.
Yes.
Who you giving that donkey to?
I don't think I've ever given donkey of the day to a nun.
Ooh, I seen this nun.
But there's a first time for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nun named Denise. What's Denise's last name? Denise Woodrum. She needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her, please.
All right, we'll get into that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The donkey of the day. They chose you.
Yes. The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's donkey of the day today?
Yes, donkey of the day for Tuesday, August 14th goes to a nun named Denise Marie Woodrum. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, Charlamagne, you are going to hell for giving a nun donkey of the day. Well, you have to know your Uncle Charlotte is smarter than that. I would not be seeking no smoke with a woman of the cloth unless I had a valid reason. Now, Denise is 51 years old and she's a nun from Missouri. She is a sister of the Adorers of the Blood of Christ, and she met a special someone online. Now, I don't think I've ever met a nun in real life, but I didn't know nuns could be online. Okay, in my mind, nuns don't get involved with worldly things like social media and dating websites, and I damn sure wouldn't think a nun would be online seeking a date, but it would make sense for a nun to be on ChristianMingle.com. On whatever site she was on, she met a man named Hendrik Cornelius. Now, let me give you a little more backstory on this nun named Denise. She was coming out of a failed marriage. She had major health problems that led to crippling bills, so she is ripe for the picking if some man wanted to prey on her misery. It is a lot of men out there who specialize in women who are going through things like Denise. Okay, women who are insecure, vulnerable. A man will swoop in and prey on her need to believe in something to get her to do his bidding. And that's what Cornelius did to this poor nun. Now, I'm one of those weird people who still believe in God. So there's certain things that I'm just not doing. And even if I was still in the game and not a member of the Faithful Black Male Association, I don't think I could manipulate a nun. I would be too scared of what God's wrath would look like for playing with a woman of the cloth like that. But Hendrik Cornelius don't have that kind of conscience. This man is soulless. Okay, see, Hendrik, in the words of Denise's lawyer, groomed her to provide financial gain. Now, they never met each other. But she's a nun, so she has faith. That's what faith is. Faith is to believe what you do not see. And Denise did not see Cornelius. But she still would text him things like, can you promise you will never leave me? You are my only and first true family. I thought your nun sisters would be your only and first true family. And if you believed in God the way you believed in Cornelius, you would never have to ask God to promise to never leave you. But who am I to judge? But let me tell you how the devil works. See, in January, Denise pled guilty. This is a nun, mind you. She pled guilty to importing a commercial quantity of a border-controlled drug. You know what that drug was?
What?
Denise, a nun, smuggled 2 pounds of cocaine into Australia using her high heels. I need to talk to a nun immediately because I'm confused on what I thought nun life was about. Is this nun life in 2018 where you can be online getting dates, possessing high heels and drug smuggling?
Well, those heels aren't that high in defense of the heels.
They're not?
I don't know if you saw them.
No, I didn't see them.
Yeah, they're more like even smaller than kitten heels.
Oh, so they're not like sexy heels?
No, not at all.
No.
If you ever Vote TV, you can see the shoes actually.
Oh, there they go.
Yeah, it's like a small,
all right,
chunky heel.
All right. Well, first of all, stuffing 2 pounds of cocaine into your heels definitely will make your heels high. And how big are these heels that you could stuff 2 pounds of cocaine into them? If you're watching Revolt TV, you can answer that question for yourself, all right? But the reason Denise is getting donkey today is not because she got duped, all right? She had to know that was going to happen because she was submitting her will to the devil and not God. But the reason she's getting donkey today because her lies are terrible. And I would expect the nun's lies to be terrible. But she told police that she had no idea she was smuggling cocaine. She thought she was smuggling artifacts.
What?
Yes, artifacts.
Isn't that lying?
Denise, stop it. All right. What did you think this white powdery substance was? Manna? Huh? You know what manna is, right? The substance miraculously supplied as food to the Israelites in the wilderness in the Bible. Now, the reason I am positive she lied about knowing she was smuggling cocaine because when she got stopped by airport security and the heels in her bag tested positive for cocaine, her reply to them was, how much did you find? I repeat, Denise was told the heels tested positive for cocaine, and she replied, how much did you find?
At least she was honest.
Some donkey of the days just sell themselves. Please give Denise Woodrum the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yee-haw.
All right. Yes, destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. And
Thank you for that donkey today.
Sometimes stupid things happen to you just because you make poor choices. You know how they say, oh, you know, God got a plan for everything. I'm sure that's what Denise is thinking right now. God has nothing to do with this, Denise. This is all the devil.
All right.
It's all the devil.
Now, when we come back, Latham Thomas will be joining us.
Go,
Maven.
Maven.
Latham Thomas is...
Yes. She has a book out about owning your glow, and she's a doula. And by the way, you can go to mamaglow.com. That's her website. She's named one of Oprah's Super Soul 100. She's talking about the Black maternal health crisis, and she actually can help you get your doula training as well. So women all over the U.S. and 6 continents, you can get a doula for your birth. And if you don't know what a doula is, you're going to learn all about that as we talk to Latham Thomas.
And I was glad that she came because my wife is expecting our 3rd child next month, and she had what?
I thought you was gonna get me to deliver the baby.
Man, if you don't shut up sometime. And she had a C-section for our 2nd child.
Right.
And then she has a scheduled C-section next month, but I don't want them cutting my baby open again.
And you
I did this 5 times, so I can do it.
Well, we need a doula, not a fula.
Did your wife have C-sections?
Nope.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. You don't have you can't talk, you can't help me with this one.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll be kicking it with Latham Thompson, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Latham Thomas.
Hey.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me, you all. I listen to you every morning. I'm so grateful to be here and have this pivotal discussion with you. So
thank you. So now, are you a doctor?
I am not a doctor.
Okay.
I am a doula. I'm a women's wellness expert and an author. My real focus is to help women reclaim their bodies as sacred and to own their glow, right? So part of that is through the work that I do with delivering babies, which is as a emotional support, as a doula, really, and physical support for people. So it's not what the doctor does, but, the doctor comes in to, catch the baby, but I do everything else leading up to that.
Gotcha.
It's like a producer for your birth.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? You were there with DJ Khaled when Assad was born.
Yes, on Snapchat, which Nicole, by the way, did not want.
Right.
So that was a little bit frustrating to have to navigate that. But I think it was a beautiful lesson for the world because many people did not have ever seen a birth. And so that was the first experience for a lot of people to see a beautiful birth like that unfold. And I think that's a powerful teaching lesson, So there was upside for that.
Right. As a woman, though, wouldn't you tell Callie, this ain't about you, bruh. All right, make things as comfortable for Nicole as possible.
Yes, but I think, he had been talking about it, that he was going to do that for a long time. So I think, and I think now they've softened into, that's part of their life,
Yeah, because she used to be very irritated every time you put the camera on her. And
yes.
She's realizing now it's just part of being...
It's part of who they are.
That's so uncomfortable for a lady, though. You laying there, you got your legs open.
But it's a very
you
natural
poop on
thing,
yourself,
too.
But, when you're in the throes of labor, as you probably know, having experienced it with your wife, you're not as focused. You go into this zone. You know what I mean? So you're not really considering what's happening in the room around you at that point.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, birth becomes a meditation, a trance. So you kind of shut out all the things that are happening around you. And so nobody's thinking about is there an intern in the room? Are there nurses walking in and out? You know what I mean? At that point. But I think leading up to that, you really have to set the tone for women to feel safety, security, and a sense of real belonging. And if we're able to create that, which is what I do, then she can kind of get into that space of, being really connected to her body and out of her head, so to speak.
If people always ask for an epidural, right? They'd be like, oh, I don't want to get an epidural, but then they're in so much pain. Sometimes women are like, okay, give it to me.
That's what I'm saying. Are there benefits to natural childbirth?
Yes. So it's interesting because the epidural, when we think about pain, there's so many aspects of our lives where we experience pain and then where we tolerate it for beauty, for all kinds of things, right? We'll tolerate pain. And then we don't ever think about the idea of experiencing it and going through it for childbirth. And it's actually like a rite of passage, right? And also the pain informs the body of what's happening. And so there's a biofeedback that's happening with the mother and the baby with sensation, right? And so the way that we can lower the intensity of pain is keeping a mother comfortable, keeping her out of a fear state, because there's something called a fear, tension, pain cycle. So if you feel tension, that's going to spark fear and then create more pain in the body. So if you can start to you can start off making a woman feel safe, secure, like she's, in a bubble of love, she'll have a lower sensation of pain, But even if she's experiencing that, there's so many measures that we can do with her to keep her comfortable. And so we use all of the natural things that we can. And then epidural is there as an option, but it's not like the first line of defense.
Right.
It's like something that we use, and we try to use it way further out because, yeah, it does pass, the drug, any drugs that you experience in a labor do cross the blood placental barrier, which means that the baby does get contact with them. So you want to minimize that.
So that's probably why you were able to walk out, because you didn't have to get an epidural. And I would
Right.
assume you're groggy for a long time.
Yes. And then you also, because of what happens, it's like a numbing, right? So it goes inside of the epidural shaft in the spine. So what happens is your whole lower body feels numb. So can you imagine that you can't get out of the bed? It makes it uncomfortable because you want to move around in labor, right? It's you want to move your body. A lot of women say, I want to twerk my baby out. So, you know what I mean? You can't do that.
sounds
if
fun.
That's when they
have
say
an
you walk around the
epidural.
room and stuff.
You can walk around the room. Yeah. So it's much easier, to have access to the water, to movement. A lot of women too, that I ask women to pack, vibrators because, pain and pleasure run concurrently. But if you're,
Really?
yes. And so if you can have a mom go in the bathroom, turn the lights out, have her vibrator,
Have an
put her
orgasm?
music. Yes. That helps
Really?
that helps to mitigate the pain too.
That's
Why-
amazing.
Why are black mothers in the U.S. dying during childbirth more than 3 times the rate of white women?
So I'm so glad that you asked that. And we're in a crisis. Actually, the CDC has said that black women are in a state of emergency. We don't think about, there's a lot of invisible factors that come into play. There's things like preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure, which happens. I know last week, or I think it was a week before, Beyonce had announced in her Vogue article that she had preeclampsia and ended up with high blood pressure, had to have an emergency C-section for her twins. Serena Williams had talked about having nodules on her lungs or something like that, like clots and stuff. And so she ended up having a C-section, but it led to her getting the clots. And so these are two powerful, powerful women who have all of the money and resources in the world. You would think that they would be protected, and they weren't, right? And then we have women who don't have the money and access, that are victims of systemic racism, of being in a system whereby, doctors, if you go to a hospital, it's already steeped in the culture of supremacy, right? It's already we're better than you. You know what I mean? And even though there's beautiful doctors who work very well with us and with their clients, there's still, the culture is one of we know everything, let us handle it, right? And so in many cases, black women aren't getting the care that they should. And they're not getting, even in their appointments, they may go to all their prenatal appointments, but the doctors aren't really connecting with them. So there's a cultural barrier. And there's also this incidence of not identifying some of these illnesses that people have until the baby comes. And then when those things happen, sometimes the mother might not die during childbirth, but within the first year postpartum, that still counts as maternal mortality. Just like in the first year of life, it does count for infant mortality. So we look at that, as well as when a mother gets she's so injured by the process that she can't live a normal life afterwards, then that also counts. Right. So we need to really reform a system and have adequate support for women, which is why doulas are so important, because they help as soldiers on the front line to protect these women. And they also know how to navigate the process and how to navigate the hospital setting. And that's really important for women, especially for women of color who, if you speak a different language, if you're, under-resourced, if you have a certain insurance, because the first thing they ask you when you call, right?
Insurance.
What's your name? What's your insurance? And then they can categorize you of how they want to treat you sometimes.
And it's important to ask questions too. A lot of times we go to the doctor and just listen to what they say and don't question things.
Right.
A lot of times doctors will tell you to get a hysterectomy, right? And I've heard this happen on so many different occasions for women who have fibroids, or they feel like they might have cervical cancer, and then the doctor recommends that you get a hysterectomy, and they actually really try to push that when you don't really have to.
Right.
And once you get a hysterectomy, you can't have kids anymore after that.
Well, think about the benefit for them, right? Like a surgery, having a surgical procedure is more money for them. The insurance company, that's where the racket is. If they could say to you, oh, we can modify your diet, you could cut out dairy, you could do a lot more things to manage your stress. If we looked at that first and had people look at their diet and lifestyle, then like the hospitals wouldn't be in business in that way, right? I think that the first thing you come in, they're saying to you, let's like remove your uterus. Nobody ever says to the, a man, he comes in, he's like, oh, well, I have a problem. Well, let's take off your testicles. Like nobody is going to say that, because also the uterus is a very powerful player in pleasure for women. So when you think about, it's not just a useless organ if it doesn't, hold a baby. It's also powerful for our pleasure, for orgasm. So, if you have to take it, let's take it because it's like there's a medical reason to do so, not because like it's inconvenient.
All right, we have more with Latham Thomas when we come back. She delivered the babies of Khaled, also Alicia Keys. So keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We have Latham Thomas in the building. She delivered the babies of Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats, Khaled, and more. Charlamagne.
You asked me earlier that I want to have a child because I'm having another girl.
Yeah.
And yes, I want a boy, but it's not worth it to me because I see those mortality rates of all these black women dying during childbirth. And my wife's last pregnancy, she developed what's it called? Something diabetes.
Gestational diabetes.
Yeah. And she ended up having to have an emergency C-section a month early.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have a scheduled C-section for the next child. So I'm like, it's not worth it to me. Like, I would rather stay away from it altogether.
See, that's the thing that is sad to me, right? Because people then say, like, I feel like I don't have hope. If we can think about the landscape that we're in, when we arrived on these shores in like the 1600s, the first black granny midwives arrived and they carried with them in their hair seed from the motherland that ended up in the soils here so that we would have our medicine here. They delivered not only their babies, they delivered the master's babies. They even took care of the master when there was no doctor around. And these were women who birthed this entire nation, who breastfed and wet nursed this entire nation. And this is the legacy that we come from. So we know intuitively how to give birth. We know also how to take care of our bodies. We just have to reconnect with our medicine, our ancestral traditions. And we also have to know that like we deserve support during childbirth. Like nobody should be walking around thinking like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen. We should actually have the support so that we can work through the trauma, through the fear. And that's part of the work that a doula does too, is to make sure that we address any triggers, any fears, any anxieties so that you can overcome and work through that so that when you get to the showtime, like the labor, that you feel
you
like
said you delivered Swizz and Alicia's baby.
Yes.
Now that you said showtime.
Yeah, exactly, right? So when you get to that, though, that you feel at ease, you know what I mean? And that there's a lot of things that we can use that are mindfulness tools like meditation and do yoga and like connect with the body. And all of these tools, by the way, are like belong to us. Like we think like, I see people will be like, oh, well, that's for white people or that's for this. No, it's for all of us. In fact, like even with acupuncture, that's a huge part of what we, have mothers do. Acupuncture was really introduced in the U.S. by the Black Panthers. Like that's how, even though like it's a Chinese medicine, they brought it here and made it like accessible to the people. So we have to start using these tools to kind of help us manage the stress and the anxiety and also the fear that we have around what we see happening around us, and know that it's possible to have a different outcome. And most of the time it is like that we have, beautiful births and they go the way we want. But there is staggering information that shows us that like if we don't have the support, if we don't address like this critical issue nationwide, that we are going to see a health trajectory that does not look good. So if we can right now, I think, concentrate our energy on getting our politicians on board with this, really making sure that in our communities and also with our doctors and find out like, what are you doing to protect Black women in birth? Like ask the practitioners, because you can know right away if these are people who you want to be delivering your baby with,
So that's what you mean when you say you want to help women reclaim childbirth.
I want women to reclaim their bodies as sacred because everything in culture turns us away from our bodies, like tells us not to listen to our bodies. Like you could take a pill to modulate every function in your body. So to me, it's like we're taught to not feel, which is why like when you talk about the epidural, that's, it's disconnecting from feeling. But, birth is like a rite of passage. And so, yes, I'm thankful that we have the epidural in an emergency situation or in a situation where it's a compassionate choice for a mother. But in many cases, it's like, oh, well, you don't have to go through this. It's like, no, this is a process. And on the other side of that, I know that mothers feel a certain satisfaction when they come on the other side of anybody who goes through something that's like heroic. On the other side of it, you have something that you didn't have when you started. And so to me, that's like the blessing is to go through, and the only way out is to go in. And so if we go through that process, and not to say like, you know, to deny yourself if you need something, but to see like, to push the threshold and see how far you can go. And then if you need it, it's fine. It's there. But many cases women don't. They just really need support. And that doesn't exist in our culture. Like, we don't support women.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because sometimes people will be like, I'm getting an epidural. I don't care. They don't even know if they're going to need it.
They don't even know if they're in pain. You know, like I've had women who didn't even realize that they were at the very end.
Right.
Like they were like, oh wait, I'm that dilated. Like I could push soon. Like
Yana delivered her baby right in the, remember her and Iman together.
Yeah,
she didn't make it to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. In the tub, right at home. So yeah, so sometimes you don't even realize. But I think again, if we could shift the culture around pain and start to think about like, no, this is like every contraction is me getting closer to meeting my baby. Like each time my body contracts, like I'm also pushing, you know, fluid out of the baby's lungs, pumping the lungs so that the baby can breathe when it gets here. Like there's all kinds of ways we can really envision. And we have these mindfulness tools so that we can transcend pain also.
Now, Lathan, to backtrack for a second, you talked about your ancestors and seeing them while you were giving birth. Can you just delve into that a little more, what that experience was like?
Oh my God, so I don't cry up in here. So what it was like was, so I was at that place, Elizabeth Seton, like I said, right, on 14th. And my water broke. Actually, this is the most exciting part, was that my water broke at 12:30 at night. And so then, like, I think like 9 hours later or so, like around 9 a.m., we rolled up. I took a shower like at 6 a.m. I just stayed by myself. And then around 9, I was like, I couldn't talk. Like it was just taking over my body. And so then we got there. I got in the room. It was dark. There was a tub. I was in the tub. And so then at the very end, though, my son's cord was wrapped around his shoulder like a backpack. And so as he was coming down, his heart rate was decelerating. And so they asked me to get out of the tub and get in the bed and like squat him out or whatever. And that's when I felt this like horseshoe shape around me. And I looked up and then I saw like, and this is before Black Panther, by the way, I saw like this looking down on me, like these ancestors cloaked. I didn't recognize the faces, but there was like this soul recognition.
Are you from the Bronx?
I am not from the Bronx.
Okay, just making sure. Trying to figure out why you're throwing up the X. All right, you want?
And people who were in the room remember it. So that alone to me was like, whoa, you have this out of body experience. And it's also connected with neurochemicals like DMT, which is called the God chemical. And you can still have like an amazing birth. I'm not saying that everybody has to not use drugs or whatever. What I'm saying though is that there is something that people are denying us when they just say, oh, you don't have to go through this. Like you don't have to put yourself through the pain. There's something on the other side of that if we can be supported and if we could feel safe. And the main things that women need to give birth are a feeling of safety, security, and not being watched, not being observed.
Speaking of sex, I didn't know sex while pregnant helps lower blood pressure and helps you to sleep better.
Yeah, sex while pregnant is amazing.
Sex is that when you're not even pregnant.
No,
Hey.
I know sex while pregnant is amazing, but I didn't know it had actual health benefits.
Yes, it has health benefits. It also, can prostaglandins, which are in semen, naturally ripen the cervix, which means it helps to initiate labor. So when it's time to initiate labor, semen deposits against the cervix will soften it right on up so that the baby can come down.
It's like a lubricant kind of.
So
It's
guys,
like
stop being afraid to have sex.
Yes,
while
and the baby does not. Yeah, it's not like it's not an issue for the baby. Because the baby feels rocking and movement all the time, so there's nothing. So it's fine.
It's not going to touch the baby.
It's not touching. Please, guys, wish no. It's not touching the baby. It's not at all touching the baby. But yeah, it's definitely healthy for that. It helps lower the blood pressure, but also like relaxation, right? Stress management, which is so important for women to feel like no stress, right? So like, yes, definitely sex. And if she doesn't want to, have penetration, because a lot of women don't at a certain time, like there's a lot of movement and the body changes so much. So, there's other things you can do.
Make your jaw work.
Yes,
Hey.
Cunnilingus.
Yeah, get it popping.
Charlemagne.
The name of the book is Own Your Glow. What is it about pregnancy that gives women that glow, especially around the eighth month?
So
time
again,
frame?
that's hormones that help to create basically like a natural makeup for women. Progesterone, estrogen, mostly progesterone. And and it also softens up the ligaments, makes the body more soft and supple and open and receptive, right? And that's the same thing that it does for the skin.
All right.
Well, her name is Latham Thomas. The book Own Your Glow. Well, the book is out right now. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
The Breakfast Club.
Hey everybody, it's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Now
Hello.
let's get to the.
Let me see who's winning in this poll between Envy and Charlamagne.
What's the poll, though? You ain't telling people what the poll is.
Who has more big D energy, Charlamagne or Envy?
Come on now. Seeing those stats, because they glimpsed across my timeline for a second.
What are the stats looking like?
Now, you tell me.
I
'Cause I ain't
can't
one to
tell
brag.
because I
I'm
can't
humble. You know what I'm
vote.
saying? I'm humble. Oh, now you can't vote.
No, because I already
Well, let's get to the
voted, so I
rumors.
can't
Now,
vote again.
let's not even talk about it. Let's get to the rumors.
Somebody post the stats for me, please. Okay.
No, that's all right.
I'll get it to the end of the rumors.
All right. Well, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Ursha.
It's time. She's spilling the tea. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
Well, Usher has 1 month to hand over his medical records and all the information about his doctors, treatments, and
is
insurance
so wrong.
information. Why?
Why Usher got to do this?
Well, there's an anonymous man who says that Usher exposed him to herpes during a sexual encounter at a spa. So that man wants to use this information as part of his prep for their trial. And
I
he's
don't like
also
this.
being sued by 2 women. One of them is Quantasia Sharpton,
I don't like this.
who says that Usher exposed her to herpes after they had sex following his concert in Atlantic City. So
Now, just
the
to-
case is supposed to, the trial is starting in February.
Now, first of all, what if, Usher is gay, right? This is no way for him to be outed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his business. Like, why this got to be public?
Well, because if you gave him herpes, I mean, it's kind of your own fault.
This is sad, man. Drop on the clues bombs for Usher.
You can't pick and choose.
I don't believe it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm being
But
honest.
don't
I
you
believe
don't believe he has
believe it.
herpes?
I don't know about that. Okay.
I don't know anything.
I'm just screaming I don't believe it because I just don't know what I believe anymore.
So
about
then how
life.
do you not believe it?
I don't.
You just don't
Do you
know.
believe it?
I just don't know.
I don't
have
know.
no
I don't-
idea.
I don't
But
know.
I
I don't
guess
believe
we
it.
can find out.
I
If
don't
his
believe
medical
it.
records show that he had no idea that he had it or that he doesn't have it, then
Here's
he's in
the
the
thing.
clear. That's all. Submit your medical records.
Here's the thing. Nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining. It's way more entertaining than say Usher got herpes.
What's entertaining about that? First of all, somebody in this room has it according to statistics.
I've never had an STD in my
So,
life.
and guess what? A lot of people who listen to this show have it. It's okay. They're going to live fine lives.
What is it?
Doesn't
1 in 3
matter.
people. 1 in 3?
Yeah, so it's
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. I pointed at our cameraman.
Anyway,
Steve.
my point is that it's a common thing. We shouldn't shun people, but you do have to let people know. That's the whole thing.
I mean, listen, that's a whole new fan base you could tap into. It's tens of millions of people in America with
my
herpes,
goodness.
type A and type B. Okay, you could cater right to that fan base and win.
Right. I mean, we've all seen people with a bump on their lip.
There
That's
you go.
A herpes sore.
A
It is.
concert
I
full
mean,
of people with bumps.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Call
now
it
let's
the
talk
outbreak.
about.
Yo, Usher.
Yo, stop
You
it.
could really do this. You could call your tour the outbreak, B.
Remix Let It Burn.
Woo! Drop on the clues bombs. I'm telling you.
I'm not playing this
They
game.
call me USHERPES.
All right, now let's talk about Nicki Minaj. She was on Stephen Colbert and she did a freestyle for Barbie Dreams. Check it out.
I might Steven after the show. He gonna come back to work with a magical glow. But when you see us, please don't stare. Just address me as Queen Nicki Colbert.
All right. And then she also had this to say about perhaps, is he dating anyone?
Are you married?
What?
Are you married?
Why? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm married. Yeah.
Okay, shout out to her.
Okay, absolutely. Shout out to you, darling.
All that's cute, but what about Self not playing her records no more?
All right, well, let's get into that. Nicki Minaj and DJ Self, yesterday they had some issues with each other. I don't know exactly what happened because we weren't here. But Nicki Minaj tweeted out he's mad because I refused to give him a drop or a hug. He was just up there dissing the bitch thinking that would make me F with him. LMAO, joke's on you once again, dummy. Pass up on your meal ticket, now you get crumbs from her table. You're a reality TV hoe, used to be a respected DJ.
Who was the bitch that he was dissing? I don't like when people call women the B word. But why? Who was he talking about?
I don't know.
I have no idea. what happened.
Who's the meal ticket?
Who talked to Self? Did one of you
I
guys
assumed
talk
it was
to Self?
Cardi B. I spoke to Self.
But I don't know if I can't. Self told
Cardi
me.
just had a baby. Let's leave her
I
out of
know.
this.
Self told me Nicki spazzed on him because he said Cardi's album was better. That's what Self told me.
Right.
And then
that's what he said on
She
there.
posted, "Wearing my hug face ass N-word, dissing another female rapper won't make me like you. You hold no weight in this city. N-word, look at your roster." I did Clue show and he was up there looking like a sad kid, asking for a drop, trying to get a hug. I won't give you a job. You're not a DJ, ho.
When she mean roster, she mean Gwenin Entertainment, right?
Gwenin Entertainment, right?
I don't know why she bombing on Gwenin like Gwenin don't got hitters.
But then she said, "While you
Stop.
wait till I leave, I got some hungry N-words with me, bitch. I'll be back tomorrow. You was just dissing her, LOL. You will remain bitter and broke, looking for scraps at VH1. You love my album and just said how it's the best thing ever. You hoes way too emotional.
Now, that was
I'm
the-
glad I ain't give your hoe ass no drop and no hug."
Now I heard a threat in there.
Now that's the only
There was
problem.
a
Little
threat in
threat.
there.
Little
Now-
threat.
Now, Nicki, you
I
got
got some hungry. Yeah, that's the threat. I don't like the threat.
You got a good album, right? Nicki got a good album. I like Nicki's album. You can't threaten the DJs. Because
No.
then the DJs will stop playing your record.
Now
That's
let's
not
hear
right.
how DJ Self responded. He said, "Well, there you have it. I never asked for a hug or a drop. Truth is, I said hi. She said hi back."
Truth is.
It's not
Never
funny.
knew-
It's serious, guy.
Never knew she had an issue with me. We only speak when she has a project dropping. So by that, I know what my relation is with her. Clue asked her to do a drop for DJ Self, and she declined, which I wasn't in the room. Why would she not? I have no clue.
What does Mariah Lynn, the boss chick, have to say about all this, though?
Oh, she
All
was
right.
pissed off.
Well, Mariah Lynn did jump
Mariah
in.
Lynn came
And
with
by
this
the
man
way,
ain't flavored smoke.
Can you stop clapping your hands, Charlamagne? It's distracting. Mariah Lynn actually had to change her phone number after all this because
Why?
she posted, "Nicki Minaj, what type of hoe time you on? Crazy how you disrespecting a man who has helped so many people to advance and elevate their career, but I can't think of one single person that you have. I've heard stories from Safari, but now I see for myself, you a real life corny ass bitch. The same way you said if Jersey said get her, well, Self don't even gotta say that. I'm always on go for him. Gwenin."
Woo!
Well, no, she didn't say Gwenin, but...
That was good. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was
Mariah
good. That was a
Lynn.
good comeback.
I want to call Bob from Mariah Lynn, ready to bring the smoke. All right.
But then
What-
she
what-
started getting some threats, and she posted them.
Mariah Lynn?
Yes, people. She had to change her number. People were like, "You're retarded."
How many times did she get called white girl? I know she got called white girl a million times.
So you want to talk reckless? So this would crack doo to loving hip hop bitches?
All right.
Did you snort?
Did you snort? This guy
I missed
snorted.
all of this last night, man. I didn't see
My
none of this good
goodness.
smoke last night.
Well, I hope
Nah,
I
but
gave
serious,
you
I
a
ju-
nice play-by-play.
I just don't like the threat. Like you know, Nicki can have an opinion on Self. Self can have his opinion on Nicki. But when you start saying, "I got hungry N-words," that's gonna come up there. Nah, that's the
don't do
problem.
that.
So all the
That's the
do
problem.
that.
Are all the DJs gonna form like Voltron and stop playing our records? I don't want y'all to do this.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have a conversation with Self first. I'm gonna have a conversation with Self. Absolutely.
They being honest on the microphone.
Hold on,
Absolutely.
but Ember, you from Queens?
I don't care. You don't threaten no DJ over his opinion. Now, if Self says something foul and disrespectful, then yeah, it's all good, but not over his opinion. If his opinion is this, and then all of a sudden you're gonna send somebody to come see him, nah. But I'm gonna have a conversation with Self today, and because I'm hoping Nicki didn't mean it that way, and knowing Nicki, I don't think she meant it that way. But if she meant it that way, you damn right. And every DJ on this station better stop playing.
Y'all want to close Bob for Envy? I can't believe the honesty.
Nah, you don't.
Well,
you don't come.
damn.
You don't come at one of my own and talk about you gonna come see him because of his opinion. If it's something else, then yeah, I get it, but not his opinion. Nah, nah.
All right, well, let's play the song "Come See About Me." Then.
Well, listen, I just want to salute Magic Johnson today because today is his birthday.
Where did that? All right, happy birthday, Magic.
I'm just saying, and
Johnson.
people love to mention him as the greatest, and people don't like to talk about him as one of the greatest NBA players of all time. And you know, he's got 9 NBA finals, and he won 5 of them, and he played 1-on-1 against HIV and beat that too. So drop on the clues bombs for Magic Johnson. All right, he looks healthier than all of us.
All right. Well, thank you. That's your rumor report.
Yes, just wanted to, break through a knot.
Okay.
Break
We're
the
trying
ice.
to wrap
All
you up,
I know. I'm
Charlamagne.
just trying to change this. I don't want to end on that negative note.
Shut it up.
That's not negative.
Oh, you coming back in for more?
Nothing
You came back
negative
in.
about that.
You coming again?
I don't think Nicki would go that way. But if she did and said that threat, then
We're wrapping it up, guys.
not over an opinion. But we're gonna talk to Self first. I'm gonna see how Self feels. Self might feel differently. If he feels differently, then cool. But
gonna see if
that's
you-
any DJ
All
on the
right.
station or any of the stations that I'm on.
I would just encourage y'all to stand your ground.
Can we play some music? Can we get into
All right.
the People's Choice mix?
Shout to Revolt. We'll see you tomorrow. People's Choice mixes up next. Let's
What
go.
if the people want to hear?